today. I hope you are fine in there. Before we begin, let me introduce myself. My name is Lisa Melissa Damani. The ID number is 200705113 from English Literature of University of North Sumatra. Okay, in this occasion, I'll present to all of you a topic. The topic is sociolinguistic, with the title is the bilingualism in Pekanbaru society. So the first topic is introduction. I think some of you know about what is sociolinguistic, and some of you also don't know about it. So I will explain to you to make you know and remain your knowledge about it. So sociolinguistic is a study of the relationship between language and society. And sociolinguistic is concerned with how language use interact with or is affected by social factors such as gender, age, or social class. For instance, and as we know, language is very important, right? Yeah, because every time you use language and to communicate, to interact with other people, and we can understand or know and get a response from the someone. Okay, so the next topic is the method and theory. The method that I use to this case is observation with description, and the theory is from Bloomfield, which suggests that bilingualism refers to sites of mastery that are identical as speakers of the local language. And so, bilingualism is a habit or behavior to use two language in the language community. So, the theory of the Bloomfield is closely related to this case. Okay, the next topic is discussion and analysis. There are four factors that determine the use of language in Pekanbaru speech network. Namely, the first, language capacity of speakers and interlocutor. And the second is the area and stage of speech. And the third is members' interaction. And the last is the intent and purpose of the speech. And the language used every day is Malay, Batak, and Indonesia. And the diverse language life can lead to the language versions, each code switching and code mixing. The events of code switching and code mixing can be now or not realized by speaker and interlocutor. For example, you can look this conversation. The topic is to age. The conversation, the A as a nurse and B as a patient and C is a parents of the patient. A, ngapo dek, ngapo, and the B, sakit. C, di dia hulu bangna. A, tidak sakit. B, sakit. A, kapan sakit? B, kadang sakit. A, ini bukan yang lamo, sambil memeriksa gigi yang dimaksud. Oh, coba buka kalau sakit ngomongnya. Ini tak, bilang sakit. B, tadi malam. A, tadi malam, tidak bisa tidur. B, A, bisa tidur ganggu. C, au membuat ibana ke rumah sakit, alai ibana mangido to puskesmas. Okay, from the conversation, in the conversation, it can be concluded that nurse has consciously carried out code switching. She can speak two languages, namely Malay and Indonesian. Even though the nurse is a native Malay, and every day she speaks with Malay language, but she can talk to the child and understand the child's language. Okay, the last subtopic is conclusion. The Pekanbaru society is bilingual or multilingual community group. This can be seen from the type of language used, such as Malay as the first language, Indonesian, and Batak language. Okay, and the use of language by the Pekanbaru speech community is motivated by several factors as it determines the elements that determine it are the first, the language ability of the speakers and the interlocutor. If the speaker can use Indonesian, she or he can use Malay and Batak. And the second is the area and stage of speech. It uses Indonesian and Malay in the area or situation of the language that use the language. And the third is the member in the interaction. If the members speak with close friend or family, she can uh, use Malay or Batak according to their ethnic. But if we speak with other people, we use Indonesian. And the last is the function of the intent and purpose of speaking. If the aim is a main tradition, can use Malay or Batak. But if we intend to maintain the history or identify humor, use Indonesian. Okay, I think that's all from me. Thanks for attention. See you next time and goodbye. Bye bye.